Sunday the 14th of August. Can you hear all the butcher birds? All happy because it's sunny, but apparently that means it's going to rain again, because it is going to rain tomorrow. Having a right old sing-song today. But we had rain yesterday, but I'm in my shorts. Because that's what happens. The rain goes away, comes out with the sun, nice and warm. But look at the lawn. Has enjoyed all the beautiful rain. Flowers. I just better go and do me worm wee fertilising. That water tank is overflowing. I can hear it dripping. Need a bigger tank. Got some of the natives here. Hibiscus and that grevillea is going to flower, which is cool. Oh, look! Toothbrushes are flowering. Apple trees. Not really an apple tree growing region. Yeah, something very green, isn't it, Muffs? Green and wet and blue, and it's not finished quite yet. So, planted this the other day, which is a Eucalyptus rhodantha. Somebody gifted me it. It was a couple of years old plant, but it's really a sand plain plant, but I've kind of put it on a built up sandy area on top of the clay, so hopefully it's alright. Looks happy at the moment. The lemons, not a huge amount of lemons. Not too bad though. Not the prettiest lemons this year, but it's alright. So wet. Trampoline hasn't blown away. You doing, Matt? This is my wattle fence. Quite pleased with it. Probably needs a few more branches put in, but sort of doing the job at the moment. I haven't really seen chickens in there, so that's nice. Oh, the everlastings. It must be sunny because they've all come out. There's wild radish, peas. Obviously these are the aromophillas. You can see all the flowers coming out, so they were planted last year. It's a good ground cover. It's quite a good bed. There's a big borage coming. It's hibiscus. I trimmed it so far back, and look at it. I'm not sure they're a long-lived species, but I trimmed that so far back. I think it kind of liked being trimmed back, maybe. And then, of course, you got the beautiful Geraldton wax. So very pretty. There's another one there, different colour. But they're sort of getting pushed out really out of this hedge now. Those melaleucas are taking over. It's not really suited to there anyway. There's another one there. Puddle. Little pond. Mulberry tree, look. I think that's gonna put a few leaves on soon. This is my winter bed, winter flower bed. Obviously, there's lots of dill. These calendulas have done really well. And a salvia. I think I'm going to put some in over the top of that. Don't know what. Blood oranges, like a trillion of them, but not small. It's really covered in fruit. They're quite small. Succulents look good. Everything's so wet. Oh, the orange get off. Olive tree, oak tree. It doesn't really lose all its leaves. It kind of goes a bit autumnal, and I think it'd lose all its leaves, but obviously it doesn't get cold enough. Million limes. Hardly used any limes this year. Just you can't get on top of them. They're just ridiculous. But beautiful limes. A bit of a native hedge. Oh, look, new one's flowered. Is that flowered, or is that somebody knocked them off? Oh, look. Do you know what that is? That's a cockatoo. Look. Yeah. Yeah. Bloody bird. Veggie patches. Right. Let's have a look at the trees. I mean, it's carnaby food, so can't complain, but sort of just scissored them all off. But it is a beautiful, definitely a beautiful tree. Shrub. Oh, look at the water. And then, of course, this is the Eucalyptus woodwardy. And it's lovely, lemony flowers. Let's just come out. Look. Such a good tree. Really long flowering. Just always covered. Look how tall it is. I remember when I planted that. Now it's massive. And then all the trees are massive, to be honest, aren't they? Like a forest. Across the lake. This is number 2 veggie patch. I mean, what can you do in this weather? Can't do anything, can you? Just sort of leaving it, letting it do its thing. Carrots are alright. They've kind of enjoyed this weather. Probably didn't like the cold very much. Peas are coming along now. Again, they didn't like the cold weather. Lovely porridge. That just comes up. Comes up. Ah, look at all the radish. Sorry, rocket, not radish, but same thing, same family. Loads of kale. These artichokes. That's the first time that one's gone there. I think that was a self-sown one. Obviously the pomegranate, you know, that's gone dormant, but look at the leaves coming. This is the English mulberry. I thought, oh God, it died, but I have scraped the, scrape that back and it is green, but I think it's a bit slow on starting to bud. Acacia. Oh, everything's so wet. Harden Bergia, look. They call that the Happy Wanderer. And you can see why. That's all one plant. It's a very good hedging plant. There's endless parsley. It's just parsley everywhere. And then nasturtiums. I don't mind being trampled. Again, they're all just self-sown. But this is another bed just full of stuff that just haven't really got to, but just far too many flipping radishes, so I've just let them all go. What can you do? There's loads of beetroots and other radishes, kale, and then the potatoes are good, but obviously we've had all this rain, so I'm just gonna let them all just stay until this all dries out, and then obviously dig them out, because if you dig them out now, they're going to be wet. Got nice peas, and obviously nasturtiums. But because it is like pyrethrum stuff, and so I don't mind like just trampling on them, and it sort of gives off a bit of a stink, keep things at bay. Squeaky birds. This is my rockery. I'm really pleased with this because I'm always killing time, haha. But that time looks amazing. I think because I've raised it up, it's really free draining, but yet it's enjoying the rocks. I'm really pleased with that. The yarrow. This is this perennial basil. The echinacea didn't do very well. It never does very well. Damn. Oh well. Another pond. Frog pond. Oh look! It's some of the native wildlife just sitting on its bed. Is that right? Yeah. Lazy cat. Oh, it's the elephant's ears. Massive now, isn't it? Lavender that's just really oily lavender. Be nice to do something with that, and I'm always chopping that back and it just keeps coming back. Look at it. Massive. Andrew's been here, look, you can tell because he's got the herbicide out. Which is, you know, fine. And then this is the main frog pond. I had to do a bit of water evacuation yesterday because the water was nearly going over. Tap, doesn't it? Where's this tap dripping? It's off. This is a lime verbena. Obviously, I think it doesn't like cold weather particularly. Still got some seedlings to go, and these are only a few left, which I'm just sort of growing those ones on a bit because they're a bit small. There's some reeds to go in the creek, and some silver princess, which is very pretty eucalypt. So this is this Romanesco cabbage that I'm not going to grow again because it's just all leaf and not a lot else. A bit disappointing. You know, it's pretty, but just what a waste of nutrients growing all that. Bit of asparagus, doesn't do very well in there. Peppers, more parsley. Obviously all the peppers look a bit sad because it's been cold. Self-sown tomato, loads of tomatoes on here. But obviously because we've had all this rain yesterday, everything's gone a bit... Oh, calendula likes it. Another flipping cauliflowers everywhere. Look at that. Do I take that out? Is that knackered now? Eggplant, aubergine. They're sort of like a 2-yearly living thing. And then coriander, but going to seed coriander because coriander seeds are the best in the cooking. Celery. Oh God, cauliflowers. See, look at that one. It all came at the same time and you just can't keep up with the cauliflower. Oh, there's dragon fruit over there. But, I mean, look at it all. Green stuff everywhere. Oh, I'll put my bread knife back. What are you doing, Mavs? Look, this is what beautiful blue sky in the winter looks like. So nice. And then the pool. That was the turf kaiku. This is the seeded kaiku. Never ever did quite as well. I mean, if we had more money at the time, we would have probably turfed it, but we didn't. So this is another Hardenbergia. This is a different colour. Always looks quite nice. Stone fruit obviously lost its leaves. This is this Salandra. Pod coming, but obviously that's knackered. Dragon fruits. And then the lettuce pots. Definitely good way of growing lettuces, sort of confinement and right in the sun. Nice little sun trap for these things. This is a good little spot. Look, peppers. Oh, I can pick them now, aren't I? This is a different lettuce, just letting it go to seed. The watercress obviously doesn't like the cold. Oh, look. The wildlife followed me. Hello. Go on, move it. Look, that pool is going to be so diluted. You still have to have the pump on a bit. You can't just leave it to sort of sit there and go stagnant, but there'll be hardly any salt in it, and it's just really like fresh water. What? You coming? But we ain't swimming it today. It's not warm enough. In fact, after all, let's have a look and see what the temperature is. I reckon it'll be 16. Having nerve throws me. Oh my god. Oh, let's move that. Look at it. And then it won't be long and then it's all dried out. Oh, look. What's that? 12, 13. God. Definitely not swimming in that. Way go. Only when it gets to 27 do I swim. Yeah, maths. Then we go over here. So obviously it's morning at the moment, so all these trees are shading. We could do with a bit of a trim, but not too much because they are a good load of shade. And these guys are all massive. I mean, look at them. This is the Hakea lyssacarpa, so it's a honey bush just flowering now, so absolutely bee magnet and really smells of honey. What's the time? Chickens, are we letting you out? 11 o'clock, let's let you out then. Chickens. Get out. Elderflower. So this hasn't got anything in it at the moment. Just let the chickens in to stir it all up. But that's the big white mulberry. So that's a good shade tree for chickens, and obviously the fruits. They'll enjoy that. So I might just leave that open this year and not grow anything in there. I haven't decided. Or if I do grow something in there, it'll probably be up that end, and I'll segregate it off. This is another mulberry I've planted. This is my strategic shading in the middle of summer for the chicken pen permaculture thinking. What? I tell you what, for little birds, they've got a lot of balls. Murphy, leave the birds alone. And then planted this nut. So this is Hardenbergia, same as that other massive one, and I'm hoping that will grow over, but it needs to get really well established because this is going to get absolutely hammered with the sun before too long. So just having a go at trying to shade that off. What size is that? Elderflower. Who would think elderflower would grow well here, but it does. The bottle brush again needs trimming. Everything needs trimming. Toothbrush grevillea. It's a bit shady here. Brr. And then up here on the sampan we've got kumquat. Yeah. And then pomegranate. And then the native sunrise lime that makes good marmalade. And this is my hugelkultur bed, which is basically like a trench layered bed that is full of logs and clippings and compost, and it's just going to kind of break down, like really wet as well, so as it warms up everything should start to break down. Now I will probably put irrigation over the top of it at some point, or run it through it so I can plant something later on in the summer. I don't know what's going to like this aspect. Might try something simple like beans or something to start with and just see what happens. But in theory they're supposed to be like nutrient rich and hold water, but as we are in this, we live in the hell heat. What works in Germany doesn't necessarily work in Australia. Look at this grevillea. This grevillea is really old now. Just a kind of cultivated nursery grevillea, but it's got to be 10 years old, maybe more. And then this all looks really good now on the graves. But I'm so excited because these are the honeypot banksias that we always give out to everybody, and it's really a sandplain or sandier thing, but I've got them growing, so look at them. So this is the honeypot dryandra, but then it got classified into a banksia family. How cool are they? And then more emu bush, which is the Heromophila. They always call them emu plants, don't ask me why. There's a few more things in here, so a few hakeas. That's a self-sown eucalypt, I don't know what that is. I'm just trying to, because this gets baked, absolutely baked in the summer. It's on the west side, but this sort of rockery, the rocks have definitely helped hold water, so I had to hump all those rocks from a local farm. I don't think they missed any rocks, to be honest. And then this bed's alright as well, like sort of pig face bed, but I have actually managed to get some shrubs growing in the last couple of years, so they should grow up a bit more. But this was this had nothing. This was just nothing. So, and the soil's no good under it. I never improved the soil, but I've actually managed to get a few things growing now. But of course the trees help. The shade. Everybody moans about having trees next to your house and that, but those need cutting down. That one there, it's hanging over the gutter, which we will do at some point. Nina, what are you digging up? Stop it! What are you doing? God, she's such a weirdo sometimes. What are you doing? Yeah? What are you doing? Div. You. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, lovely wood piles. Not got a lot of wood left in it because it's been so cold. And then obviously the carnaby's are back, you can hear. And obviously that is carnaby nest at the back. With some carnaby's in it. That's me 1,000 litre water tank. These IBCs are brilliant. Could do with 50 of them. And then obviously this was the repaired new what do we call that, trellis. That's another one of those Eucalyptus rhodanthus. And these guys are good. Planted these a couple of years ago to replace the grevilleas that have all died. So that's that grevillea, little grevillea, melaleuca. But I don't think they get very tall. I think that's about as tall as they get. And this is the worm farm. How wet it is. So I'm going to be doing worm wee stuff in a bit. Are you following me? Stop it. Hoping I'll get some mices out. Yeah, that is about it. That tank's just dripping all the time. Oh look, there's my nettles. Wow, I've got nettles. Do I plant those out? Maybe I should plant them out. Stinging nettles, who would have thought? Stinging nettles in a pot. So yeah, getting a bit of cloud coming now, but it is going to rain again tomorrow. But it is nice and warm, it's about 22 degrees now. And it's winter. And I'm in my shorts. Beautiful.